Now I'm going to talk to you about Marcelo. Marcelo focuses on connecting healthcare institutions with Hispanic consumers in the U.S. He uses web metrics and the constant optimization of digital marketing campaigns to meet the culturally specific needs of the Hispanic consumers. Marcelo is currently the chairman of the Technology Committee of the Association of Hispanic Healthcare Executives and has been working with AHHE for about 5 years now. Marcelo?
Thank you all for attending. Thanks, Miriam, for the recap. I just wanted to take all these in perspective. And I want you to take a look at the picture. This is in Queens. It was taken at a normal day, any day. And I want you to look and pay closely attention to what's going on here. What's going on here? What's going on there? So we've been hearing that we are social, that we are mobile, that we're local. So we knew we are social, we are Hispanic, of course, we through great parties, but we didn't know that how much of that information is right now, how the information is being searched, how we Latinos are in constant search of information. So then, right now, what we're looking at is there's a huge number of Hispanics online, digital, and that spend almost the same amount of time on TV than online. But here's the interesting part. This is where it gets everything interesting, that only 5% of the whole budget goes to online. So imagine again, you have a population that spend almost the same time into media, but advertisers, companies are just putting 6% of the whole budget to online. So that, my friends, really creates a huge opportunity for those savvy marketers who can take advantage of this fact that it's pretty much telling us that companies are not putting enough money, resources where the population is growing. Now, healthcare is not an exception, and of course there are gonna be navigators, independent brokers, online portal, call centers. That's the final step. But we need to bring the searches. We need to bring the people to these places. So digital is not something that is going to affect the other medium. It's gonna empower the other media campaigns to take users to take action. But how do you make them take action? So first of all, digital media provides two opportunities. First of all, the ability to engage the person, to bring them, to inform them, and then the opportunity to enroll them, to finalize, to close the deal. So then, how do you enroll Latinos and make you stand out? Because as we saw from the previous presentations, we see that Latinos and in general, we are searching and we are talking about the brands. And reputation is very important when you are choosing a doctor, when you are looking for healthcare information on that. So we have to engage these people. So in order for us to understand the game, let's meet some of our players. So we're gonna call Marcos, who is a foreign-born Latino who's searching for information. He likes maybe soccer, and he likes arroz con gandules, right? And he's searching for info. Remember that the context is not only the healthcare directly. Healthcare is affected by the lifestyle, and as we saw, lifestyle has a lot of searches. So food, information about recipes, information about other related terms. And then let's meet Elizabeth. Okay, Elizabeth is a native-born Hispanic, and her parents are born in another country, but she loves to talk with grandma about recipes, about food, about traditions. And let's meet Francisco. He's working. He's the manager of a restaurant, and he heard something about the law, but he doesn't know what it is about. What they have in common is searches. They are looking for information. They are in constant communication, right? So then, from there, how do you persuade them to choose you as a health provider? There was a recent study from this was in the Huffington Post media, where they showed that, as Google showed too, that trust needs to be in place when it comes to engaging Latinos, right? But how do you build trust? Well, you build trust by making a connection first. How do you build how do you make this connection? Is through content, through relevant content that speaks to the values, language, family, diverse traditions. We come from many different places. We come from different situations, and we search for food differently in every country. We have a very specific type of recipes that we search for, and we are in the United States. And remember, when the searches that were before, all of them are happening in the US, in Spanish, right here from a cell phone. So we're not talking about searches that are coming from our countries. We're talking about searches that are being done right now. Now, from that, before building this trust, we have to avoid certain common mistakes, because whenever some companies think about Hispanic marketing, the first thing they comes to their minds is stereotypes. Like, yeah, all Latinos are equal, the same type of communication. We're gonna talk in just Spanish, and they miss the point. They miss that we have a different situations. Remember, Francisco, Elizabeth, Marcos. They are completely different situations, although they are here, although they are Hispanic, but they are searching differently. Second common mistake is poor translations. And I'm sure you've seen a lot of them. And for those of you who speak Spanish, how would you translate that to Spanish? Well, they put it success here, right? Although this is very funny, and it could be funny on certain industries, when it comes to healthcare industry, it's really dangerous, because there are certain prescriptions that are badly translated, and they are not in language that they can open to many legal action, as you know. So we have to have in mind that. Then from there, how do you start building trust, right? Well, we talk about culturally relevant content from one side, and we've been working on the companies that have been created this great content from one hand. On the other hand, you have Marcos, Elizabeth, and Francisco searching for that information, but sometimes they don't connect. There is a wall there, and there is a wall because there was even recently there was a study done that Latinos consider the lack of information a key obstacle in obtaining health insurance. So we're talking about that we have content from one hand, and then we're saying people are searching for what's missing. That's when we call it Somos Latino, like the song, Somos Latino. But it's social, mobile, and local marketing applied to this culturally aspect. So how do we make sense of all of this, right? We unfortunately, Bruni wasn't here, but she, before a couple of weeks ago, she gave us some tools, and this is a tool that whenever the census come back, the census.gov, you can go and look for this language mapper. And what it's saying here is that for Spanish, you see every dot there represents 100 people of speaking only Spanish. So as you can see, there are many people right there. So we knew there is a huge population of Spanish speakers. From Google, we know that they are searching, right? So to illustrate all this, how do we take that there is people there, they are searching, and they need relevant content? How do we put everything together? Well, in order to do that, we chose one specific segment of the population the Ecuadorian population, being the fourth largest in New York from the census, and we did a joint project with Region Q magazine, which provides useful information for Ecuadorians living here. And also, as you know, I'm a little biased being Ecuadorian. I know a lot of that. I know the food, I know soccer. So the content is gonna be more relevant, more in tune with what people were searching for. So what are we doing here? We take the data from the census. We knew that, you seen this line right there at the end? This is seguro médico being searched from last year, July 2011. You see there was no trend. And then you see what? Just going to, I don't know the numbers, but I know it's spiking, you know, because of the law. So we know they're searching there. So people are looking for more information in Spanish in the United States right now, okay? Now also, as we saw with Google data, it's not only health, but because there are other lifestyle things, and people not only looking for specifically health insurance in Spanish, but they are looking for other illnesses like high blood pressure, anemia, asthma, cholesterol. What do you see this in common? In common, all that you see is more and more searches on these topics. So people are searching for information about healthcare. Now, based on that, we also know where these searches are coming from. And not only that, but we know what other related searches are being done. So with all this information, what we can do is start creating content that is relevant for the specific community. So what we did was, okay, with the data from the census, we could identify the top 10 zip codes that are most populated by Ecuadorians. So we know where they are, location. And then we created a profile. I created a profile based on the behavior, based on what they want, based on what they need. And in the graphic below, you can see that we know where they are, but also because we want to talk specifically to Ecuadorians, we needed to find things that we know that Ecuadorians would like. So based on that content, based on that research, we know where they are, we know what they're looking for, we know what time where are their searches coming from. We start creating and building content. This content was based for different platforms, for Facebook, even for print. We knew what people were needing. We knew about, as you can see, food, health related, anything that is very relevant for these specific customers. Now, what we found out is that we got the content, as we talked before, plus the Somolo strategy, and we can get users to take action, because in any information there was a call to action for them to enroll, not enroll directly, because this is not a specific healthcare provider, but to give us the information for that. Now, as I was saying, we created these specific tools and this specific information, but all this information is really, really relevant. Why? Because we knew what they're looking for. They were looking for food. They were looking for to cure. They were looking for home remedies to cure asthma, for example. Yes, we created the content, but we made a call to action to them. Now, with that, the results that we got were very, very interesting, because with a highly relevant manner, we were able to secure top listings on Google with Spanish, and with Obamacare, with if they qualify for Obamacare. But the most interesting fact was, whenever they search online, this is actually from an actual phone search, and you see who was showing up on the maps was not the biggest companies. They were not the health providers, but the magazine. So imagine that a magazine that is not a provider is showing up more than the providers. that there is a huge opportunity for anyone right there that wants to reach that market. But as those are the top spots from there in the city. And then not only they found it, but they took action. They took action. They call, they set up an appointment. But with that, I just wanted to ask you, but if you are already investing in here, where this is health insurance, when you search for health insurance on Google Maps, this is all the competitors that the user is gonna find. The user, when they goes and search for health insurance, these are all the providers, health providers that he's gonna choose, right? But when he does that in seguro médico, this is what they get. So where do you want to compete? Why not in both? So now what's happening is just what happens in many other industries, where in politics, in music, in entertainment, that they saw the potential of the market. So I just want to invite you to take advantage of this opportunity that is being created. Google has the data, the census has the data. We know, look around, and for that, I think we're open to questions, and these are some of our clients, and as my email address. Thank you very much.